This is Justin AMZN on Wednesday, November 28th, 2018. Pre-market today, we just grinded higher up into the upper range of these four lines, and we're definitely gapping up. So it's a bullish retest gap, not the gap down I was anticipating. So something's different, something's changed. You know, it's not as bearish, it's not rolling over like it's looked like before after an indecision candle like we got yesterday. So with this candle, or with this open up here, you know, we're going to look for it to continue to move up. Initially, because it's a bullish retest gap, it runs up into the high of 1618.80 and then runs back down into the low 1600s, comes right back into this range, puts in a hammer here, indecision candle, starts to move up, and kind of looks like it's breaking out, but it's just throwing an upper wick through the next line, comes right back down, and starts to just chop right here. And we saw this happen, this kind of thing happen just yesterday on a line. So this was the bottom line of these four. Now we're in the second one from the top of these four. And a nice little consolidation here. We've got a really large squeeze forming. So we're just going sideways. You know, we had a squeeze form yesterday with a lot more bearish momentum. Today we're just really steady here and starts to break out. It pulls back, and this is a really nice small triangle. These candles are now staying above the 1607 line and starting to kind of do like a Morningstar reversal here, or it's kind of like a flat double bottom. I mean, these bearish candles do a double bottom, and then this is a retest of the neckline. The neckline, you know, pretty much being the 1607 price, and then starts to bounce here. We still have, you know, kind of bearish momentum on the squeeze that's forming, but nothing's triggered yet. With this candle, we get a slightly higher high, and then I think, yeah, another bullish candle. So we're definitely breaking out of, you know, this consolidation here. We're not doing it as strong as we did this one with this candle and then indecision and a move higher. We're doing it much slower. But what's nice about this is it kind of gives you some opportunities to get in, or after these four bullish candles to get a little bit of a pullback again and get in there. And here's a nice place to get in. Couple candles that pull back, and now here's a really nice hammer. It looks similar to this one. Looks similar to the hammer we saw way down here yesterday. It's just a really nice candle at a really good location. The low here is 1607.25, 25 cents above the line. So this would be a great place to be buying off this line, or, you know, getting a setup where you're getting in above it and a stop below it for a continuation higher. This kind of consolidation, you know, we got pretty much a flat bottom, slightly lower highs, and our momentum has just shifted to be a little bit positive here on the squeeze. And obviously, hindsight, looking back at what happened today, this is where it broke out. Gorgeous, you know, pullback here right into this level. Nice hammer. Would have been a great place to be buying, and it just totally broke out, and it didn't stop. It went up, consolidated, went up, consolidated. This was, I think, probably the largest pullback it had, and the low in here was right back at the high of these candles. You know, a great place to retest. We are going directionally bullish again. And we're doing it on the 5 minute. I mean, we're even right here. It's like, oh, we're not quite there. Pull back again, not quite into these highs. That was a little bit harder one to be buying, and you're so close to this level. But continue to just chop up. It looks like we've got a nice ceiling here, resistance. This high is 1665. The line, we haven't talked about this line in a while. It's 1665.27. Broke out, retested it, and continues on up. So a really amazing move. We haven't been up at this level. Let's see if it's even on. Yeah, so we were up here. Is this the line? Is that the line we just got into today? 1665. Why isn't that highlighted? There we go. Oh, that's the line. It's just not staying highlighted. Okay. So this is a really nice level to be back up at because, a couple other times we had pushed up above it. We've been on this downtrend and now we've recovered back up to this same level where we started on that downtrend essentially. A really amazing bullish move on the daily or on the 5-minute today. And some really good places to get in. If we look at the option, this is a really flat area to just get into a call. Almost speculative, but you can wait for it to do this kind of a breakout and a retest and a breakout and a retest. You can wait and be patient for that to happen. So this is the 1650 call expiring on Friday. And the lows through here were in the $4 to $5 range. And anybody could have been buying 5x4. That's it, 5x4. Even this one, right before it broke out, could have been getting in 5x4. And then this candle, let's see, the low here was 565. So if you were looking to do a breakout trade, getting in above one of these candles would have been like 575, and then the low around probably 475. That would have been dollar risk. And then the only question is, would that have actually filled, or did this candle just move too quickly to fill a price like that? And then it was just a matter of holding all day. So if you had bought at 5 and held on through a move up like this, maybe you exit up here from 5 to 18 at 13R. Maybe you just held through this kind of a pullback, tightened up your stop. All you had to do is really trail your stop below a large bearish candle, and then move it after the next one. So not to say you got so tight that you were up here with your stop, but after it it maneuvered with a pullback, move your stop below this one, and then it moves up, then pulls back, move your stop below this one. You could just trail your stop all day long and just be exiting at the end of the day. So had anybody bought at 5 and just held till the close, closing price was up 37, and you bought at 5, go to 37, that's 32R. Now, it's really difficult to, be in something to get that much of a reward, to buy near the low and get out near the high. But you don't need 32R. On a day like today, 2R would have been just fine. Anywhere in here, buying any of these pullbacks, watching this to get in at a place that has a nice small candle, even just getting in as it's starting to break out, anything worked today. That's how bullish it was. And right after Thanksgiving holiday and getting into the holiday season with Santa Rally, all those things that we've just got a lot of people buying, a lot of bullish activity, and that's just bottom line what was going on today. There wasn't really anything special about getting a breakout from this range that happened at this time of day. It just consolidated. It could have been right here that it broke out. It could have been off of this candle it broke out here. But it was definitely showing signals that it wasn't selling off. All of these wicks down in here, I mean, they stayed steady at the low. We got up to this level, and then not a single one of these candles touching the 1607 price actually got below it without touching it. Let me see if I can say that differently. Any of the candles where the price was at any point below 1607 is still touching the 1607 price. So let's see, which one's the closest? Probably maybe this one. The high is 1608.55. The high of these candles is still above the 1607 price on all of these, every candle today. Last time we weren't, was this one before we got there. And every time since, we were above it and stayed above it with the high of the candle. So to me, that's something that's really bullish. If you can see that kind of thing happen, let's see if something like that happened yesterday. You know, it was this, we had this candle here where we actually got below this line and didn't touch it with the high. And then we did it again here. So that still had some bearishness. That says, hey, we're leaving this level. We're breaking down from this level. It should go. And people just bought it back up. People just bought it back up. So these were kind of fake out candles that looked like it was breaking lower, and it wasn't. And then today, you get candles, you know, none of the candles even showed that kind of a signal of a fake out, which means everybody who is in up here, you know, should have been taking profits if they were up. But short sellers were trapped with another kind of move up. Had they been shorting yesterday even, and being a bullish retest, it definitely retested. You know, zoomed out like this, you know, it's got an incredible S curve here. Kind of a choppy one initially, but a really nice, you know, S curve with kind of multiple double bottoms or retest from a double bottom, and just curved on higher and then curved again and curved again. All these S curves on its way up. So looking at this, I don't think we've had as bullish of a day like this in a while, where we consolidated nicely and then just broke out and ran. I mean, even this one, we ran and then we consolidated and chopped around for a while. This was very much a directional move today. Kind of this one, but had a little larger pullback here. So anyway, if we take a look at the daily, see what we actually did today, that's a nice strong candle. We've got 3 bullish candles in a row. Now we're taking out a couple of these highs. We're higher than I thought we'd be already, up at 1677, excuse me. I thought we would pause up in here around the 21. Clearly we didn't. So that's, to me, that's even stronger. It means it's even more bullish at this point. So the one hesitation I would throw out is this level acted as resistance here. We got above it, came back down to it, and stayed below it with these candles. And it was good support here and here. Well, I guess it was resistance here and then became support here. So we've had a couple interactions with, you know, closes or some of these candles here. It's possible we have a bit of a consolidation here. If we get something like this, where we have a couple bearish candles and then a continuation, that would be a nice consolidation. We clearly did not go sideways for a couple more days down here. We're just moving on up. And we're already pretty close to a range move from this low to this high, as we are from this low to this high. We're getting close. And I didn't measure this to see what the exact amount is. I guess I can do that now. And maybe just draw something like this. There you go. Switch back to this. And yeah, so if we do like a measured move from this low, then we're right back into 1730. So, I mean, it could definitely get there, just being a measured move from this low to this high. So I don't really feel like this downtrend line is necessary anymore. It would really have to plummet if it were to touch that ever again. And having it on here is really misrepresenting the actual drawing, because this is looking at daily and it was drawn on the 5-minute way down here. But can you imagine if we were to somehow sell off from this down to this line? I mean, you'd be touching the 1400 price in a matter of days, probably by Friday, if that were to happen. So I don't see that. So let's get rid of this line, because we're bullish now. We shouldn't see this. If we need to, we'll drop back in if we were to come down that far. Anyway, it'd be really cool if we made a candle like this up here. We had a bullish retest gap here where we opened pretty flat. I don't recall if we ran up, then down, then up, or if we went down, then up, then down. But if we get kind of an indecision candle like this one, just talking about having this kind of indecision candle, turning in, looking like this one, turning in a bearish gap and go, or looking at this one, and this one was a bearish retest, and then it had a rollover here. Now we're on the other direction. We're going up, so it's bullish retest. What else looks like that? Kind of this. Maybe it's just because it's a bullish retest, but it's at a nice level, where it's moving through the 21. We did that here. We're a little bit higher on the 21 than we were here, but be interested to see if we can run up to the 1730 price or 1727.88 price that we just measured to. If we can get up there and then have a pullback for a few days, taking a step back, that could look like an inverted head and shoulders, something like that. So, we'll just continue to watch and see how this is going to go, and look for opportunities to get in on a very small risk, and just get an amazing reward. But this is a good day to go back and day trade based on your own analysis and figure out where would you have gotten in, where would you have gotten out, when would you have trailed your stop, what was if you followed your rules to a T, which we should be doing, how would this day have played out per those rules? And for mine, I would have been looking to get in on some sort of a tight consolidation here, or getting in after the breakout, like one of these breakouts, and do a limit buy with a pullback. And that should have worked in here. I even glanced at this. I think I glanced at it like somewhere in here, and I saw, oh, that's too many candles in a row. This should pull back. Next thing I know, it pulled back, and I had missed this kind of a move with other stuff going on today. So, but I can definitely recognize the opportunity and see what I could have done to have traded, this some point later, or had traded this down here and just held through the kind of move. Would how I trade and what that movement was today, would I have gotten a bunch of that? And the other question is, would I have still been holding some or all the position into tomorrow and Friday to see how much higher could this go? Because this was really gearing up for a big gap. Whether it was bearish or bullish, I wasn't quite sure, but definitely had a nice move. So something I just want to look at is the hourly. Let's see. So yeah, in here, so we had some consolidation in here from yesterday, and then gapped up, retested it, and then continued. So, it's a really nice trade today, a really nice move today, and hopefully a lot of people made some money playing this, and let's get better at doing that too. So hope you enjoyed this video. This is just AMZN. Thanks.